Kari Lake is here listening. All right, she's going to join us on the back end of this. What you're about to hear is the Arizona GOP party chairman, Jeff DeWitt, talking to Kari Lake about how someone back east wants her to drop out and is willing to pay her big money to do it, trying to probe how much it will take to get her out and someone else in. Who? Someone who can be controlled? Someone who's not MAGA? Someone who will do this imaginary sort of party boss? I mean, there is somebody. Even DeWitt seems to be admitting this is not a made-up thing. To do that person's bidding? Who? Again, we're going to listen to an excerpt of this long call, and Kari Lake will be on right after. The recording's it's extraordinary. Take a listen.
This is back east. There are very powerful people who want to keep you out.
I know they do.
But they're willing to put their money where their mouth is in a big way. So, this conversation never happened.
This is crazy, though. They should want me. I'm a great candidate. People love me. These people are corrupt.
If you say no, which is fine, it's your choice. Don't tell people.
They're gonna try to have me murdered. So what's going on? Who is it? What?
Forget the who. Let me just tell you the what. Let's just say there are people calling around saying, gosh, no, they can't repeat this. Never repeat this. If you say no, don't. If you say, I got offered to buy out. Don't use it.
Here's my problem. Rather than just say, let's work with her. She's a great candidate. Because they don't own me. And it pisses me off.
Yeah, I said it's about ownership.
It's about control.
I don't know if it's about control. It's about being on the team.
But if they're pushing a globalist agenda, I can't do that. So what do they want? What do they want me to do?
You want to stay out for 2 years. But, I'll tell you what I can offer you. I said, you can do whatever you want. It's talking head, this and that. So, the ask of me was, it's kind of funny. So, the ask I got today from back east was, it has to stay between us. Is there any companies out there or something that could just put her on the payroll and give her, to keep her out? And I said, well, what are you willing to do? Like, whatever we need to do.
This is about defeating Trump. And I think that's a bad thing for our country. DeSantis is not America first. This is about the final death blow to Trump. And I don't think that's good for our country.
And you know I love Trump. I love Trump.
It's not good for our country, Jeff.
I think what it really comes down to for a lot of people, it's not really about like control or agenda. It's just about the ability to raise money to win. You know, if you really want to know, all of politics boils down to money. I think. Mm-hmm. And even on their end, like what makes them the most money.
I know all these consultants don't want their payday to end, and I don't want to make a deal with these kind of people. This is a hill worth dying on. I'm not. If they're going to steal the election to make me and our movement go away, I'm not letting him do that. I owe it to the people of Arizona,
Or
to carry their torch and their voice.
Or you don't go away, but you pause.
This is the battles right now, Jeff.
You pause and refill your coffers.
No, the battle is right now.
It's a back scratching club. That's all DC is. It's a big back scratching club. You're in no position to scratch anybody's back, and you've already made it known that if you get there, you're not going to scratch anybody's back. Where are we in 2 years if they steal the election again?
Listen to what you're saying. Why don't we do something about it? So that we the people can pick our...
What can we do?
I'm not willing to accept that. And I'm going to be the biggest pain in these people's... Go back and tell them that. I'm running, and I'm going to be the biggest pain in their...
I'm willing to tell them that.
And they're going to have to kill me to stop me.
No, I know. Look.
You don't have to tell them that, but I don't think they will, but...
I don't think that's the way they are.
I'm offended by whoever these people are that they're trying to buy me out of.
Well, you should be honored.
But I'm offended that there's people back there who just don't give about our country.
Do you understand, though? You should be honored. That means they know how powerful you are. Just to say, is there a number at which...
I can be bought?
Not be bought.
That's what it's about.
You can take a pause for a couple of years.
No.
And then go right back to what you're doing.
No. 10 million, 20 million, 30, no. A billion, no. This is not about money. This is about our country. Yeah, I don't want to deal with people like this. These people are un-American, and I think they're unethical, and I would be absolutely immoral if I did that.
Again.
That's immoral. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror if I,
It's very powerful people that are willing to, they really want someone different. They want new names, whatever it is.
I love you, but I got to get working.
All right, I appreciate it.
I'm just, can't believe this. I think you should go public with this and then say, hey.
No.
These people don't want to, they don't want,
And then I turn my key in my car and I just...
I'm offended that they don't care about our country more.
I actually wish you'd just give me a counter offer this big. Give me a counter.
I can't be bought.
Come on.
Wow. Kari Lake joins me now. Kari, so good to have you on again. This is unbelievable.
Every time I hear it, it's shocking, and I've heard it several times, and it just, I feel like the blood drains out of my body every time I hear it.
I mean, just so the audience knows, to kick it off, you are running. You did not pull yourself out of any race, and you're doing very well for right now, trying to get the primary win so you can run as the Republican candidate out there, and you're crushing it at the moment. So this guy,
the latest poll shows me 6 points up, Megan. So I think we're doing pretty well. And this was this conversation happened in my home 11 months ago. So this was powerful people back east trying to prevent me from getting into the U.S. Senate race. And honest to God, it's one of the reasons I said I have to jump into it. If these people back east, if these powerful people are going to try to bribe me out of politics, that tells me that I need to jump in with both feet. And that's one of the reasons I ultimately decided I have to do this.
One of the interesting things on there to me is what can we do with her? Talking head? Is there some company that would take her? I mean, it's like that you used to be a news anchor. We talked about that when you came on before. They thought maybe we can just station her someplace as a talk. I mean, does that tell you anything about who is making the offer? Because my understanding is you don't know who was behind the money.
I don't know who is, and I've thought about it many, many times. The sad thing, Megan, is you could sit and ponder for 24 hours and probably come up with a list of 400 corrupt people or entities, or maybe even more. It could be anyone. The whole Washington, D.C. swamp is so corrupt. So I don't know who it is. I've had my suspicions here and there, but I really don't know. And you wonder how many other people get this offer. You wonder why good people don't get into politics, because maybe the minute they step in, they get a meeting like this and they decide to step back out. It's disturbing. We've heard about this kind of stuff happening. I will be honest, when it happened, it was so surreal. And I was in a hurry because I was finishing up my book, finishing the edits on my book. I know you've been there before and you're under deadline. And I was getting ready to pack for CPAC, where I was going to go and be a keynote speaker there. And so I shooed him out of the house, and I got on the plane later on, and I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about at CPAC. And, many times during this conversation, he said, this conversation never happened. Don't talk about it. Don't say anything about it. And I said, I have to say something about this. So I changed my speech the next day at CPAC, and I brought this up immediately. So I've been talking about this conversation for 11 full months. I didn't name who it was that came to my home, but I, in very good and sharp detail, described what happened. And the mainstream media never once contacted me and said, hey, what was that about? Who was behind that? This is just, they're so in cahoots with the swamp back in DC, the mainstream media is. And that's why we're lucky to have independent people like you out there, where we can get information and trust it.
Well, it's shocking to see how the wheels turn behind the scenes, how you were apparently deemed unacceptable by someone with a deep pocket who had a connection to Jeff DeWitt, who was running Arizona's GOP party. And to the point where they got him to go to you and say, hey, would you take a bunch of money to get out? Now, who was this person? What other candidates did they buy right out of the races? Were they all MAGA candidates who said yes? I mean, you can guarantee it didn't stop with just you. And it really, like I just said yesterday, I'm not much for like conspiratorial. There's a cabal of people who made the decision to do all the indictments. I don't know. But this is exactly the kind of thing that makes you think maybe there is.
Some of these conspiracy theories have come true in the past few years, as we've all seen.
Yeah.
It's just so shocking because here, Jeff DeWitt, by the way, he resigned yesterday, was leading up the Republican Party here. I endorsed him. And I was looking forward to having some good leadership out of him. And he takes the candidate who is the most popular Republican in the state, myself. There had been several polls coming out on the U.S. Senate race, possible contenders who might run. And every single one of them had me not only winning, but beating everybody and going on to win in a general. And every single one of them showed me where nobody could even come close to beating me. So you would think that the chairman of the Arizona Republican Party would say, oh my gosh, we have to convince her to run. Because then the people come out. I'm a populist. We bring the people out. We're going to get out and vote. And we're going to have a huge, huge election. But he did just the opposite, which tells me, maybe he's bought and paid for as well. Why would you want the most popular Republican in the state to not be on the ballot in a critical year like 2024? I have a lot of questions about why.
The pressure to conform to political correctness has undeniably suppressed genuine debate, and it's time we put a stop to it. Enter Freedom 2.0. I love this. Listen to this. It's a bottled water company, an unapologetic one that proudly supports the freedom to speak, to think, and to listen. We can't afford to remain silent anymore. It's crucial to make our support for the First Amendment crystal clear. And one impactful way to do so is by choosing products from companies that share our values. Visit freedom20.com and use the code MK for a 15% discount when you get there, to stand with me and millions of other Americans in celebrating the right to free speech. Remember, freedom is not inherited. It's something we must actively fight for. So raise your voice, grab your bottle of Freedom 2.0 and make a statement. Cheers to Freedom 2.0. That's Freedom 2.0, like the letter O, not Freedom 2.0 when you're typing it in. And champion the power of free speech. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.